You ever get pulled over by a cop who just doesn't want to listen, like, no matter what you say? They're already set on making your life miserable. Well, let me tell you about how Marcus Gray, an off-duty federal agent, got handcuffed for absolutely no good reason, and then flipped the whole script in just minutes. Yeah, that happened, and it's one of those stories you don't forget. It was just past 6 in the evening on a calm suburban street in Fairview County, Virginia. The kind of neighborhood where kids are still out on their bikes and sprinklers tick quietly in front yards peaceful, golden hour light wrapping around the houses. Marcus had just finished a long shift with a joint federal task force in Norfolk and was on his way home, rolling through the neighborhood in his black Dodge Charger, cruising at a careful 28 miles per hour. No rush, no music, just the soft hum of tires on asphalt. Then, out of nowhere, a sheriff's SUV pulled up right behind him. No siren, just flashing lights, snapping on quick and close. Marcus sighed, signaled, and pulled over. This wasn't his first time getting stopped. But you know how it is when you look like him, a black man driving through certain neighborhoods. The tension never really goes away. The officer who stepped out was a stocky white guy. Sunglasses, even though the sun was nearly down. Hand lazily resting near his holster. No greeting. No introduction, just a sharp, suspicious stare. "You live around here," he barked. Marcus kept his eyes forward, calm, and said yes. Then came the routine demand license and registration. Marcus told him exactly where to find them. Move slow and deliberate. Hands visible on the wheel the whole time. He slid his wallet and registration onto the dash, asking, "Mind telling me why you stopped me?" The officer didn't answer, just accused Marcus of creeping through the neighborhood. Creeping at 28 miles an hour. Someone called it in. The officer said, like that justified suspicion. Marcus, tired from a 12-hour shift, said, "I'm just trying to get home." But then the officer ordered him out of the car, no explanation. Marcus asked why, but got no answer. So he did what anyone in his position would do. He reached into his wallet and pulled out his FBI badge. "Sir, I'm a federal agent," he said, holding it up clearly through the window. The officer didn't even blink. "I don't care who you say you are. Out of the car. Now." The words landed heavy, filled with the kind of intent that made Marcus's jaw clench, not in anger, but in control. He unbuckled his seatbelt and stepped out, hands raised, calmly warning, "I'm complying, but you need to get your supervisor here right now." Instead of backing down, the officer shoved him just enough to make a point, then started calling for backup, claiming Marcus was refusing to comply. Marcus stayed still, calm as stone, warning him again, "You're making a mistake." And then handcuffs. Click, click. The neighbors stopped what they were doing. Phones appeared. One teenager started recording from his porch, and Marcus made eye contact, saying, "Let that camera roll." Backup arrived fast. Lieutenant Dana Ross, sharp-eyed and calm, stepped out. She took one look at Marcus, at the badge wallet on the car roof, and said, "Special Agent Gray." Marcus nodded. "Ellison," the officer stammered. Ross cut him off, cold. "You cuffed a federal agent without verifying credentials. That's against protocol." Ellison tried to justify it. He had an attitude, but Ross wasn't having any of it. She demanded body cam footage, which confirmed Marcus's story, calm, compliant, and lawfully identifying himself. Ellison was immediately relieved of duty and, in a stunning turn, handcuffed himself. Justice came fast. Marcus rubbed his wrists, red and sore, but his mind was sharp. He thanked the teen who recorded everything the calm. Collected presence was survival, not weakness. As he drove away, the street returned to quiet, but the moment hung heavy, like a spotlight exposing a deeper truth. Here's the kicker: this kind of thing isn't rare, but it rarely gets stopped like this. What if it wasn't an FBI agent? What if it was someone else with no backup? No camera. Makes you wonder, right? So, what do you think? Is this just a case of bad policing? Or something deeper? Have you seen or experienced something like this? Drop your thoughts below. Share your stories. And let's get this conversation going. Because justice isn't just about one man's cuffs, it's about all of us being seen and heard.